You're capping commissions on our most in-demand vehicles because you're not doing any extra work, so you shouldn't get extra money? Fine. Let's see how that works out for you. I realize that this story could absolutely be current, but it's not. Another thread reminded me of it, and I think it absolutely fits here, so here goes. Back in 2014, I was selling cars. Ford, specifically. For all those who aren't car buffs, both the Mustang and F-150 were getting ground-up redesigns for 2015, and Ford had just announced that there would be no Shelby Mustangs or Raptor F-150s for 2015. Instantly, we were fielding several calls a day about these vehicles, and almost overnight, the inventory we had came with a $10 to $20K market adjustment, due to demand. Our GM loved both vehicles, and traded for them whenever he could because he loved chatting about them with buyers, so we had 21 Raptors and 6 Shelbys still on the lot when I sold a ruby red Raptor extended cab at $10,000 over sticker the last week of the month. Both are crazy numbers for the 200 new cars we sold/MO. With the trade, I was due about $4,200 in commission, but my check was about $1,700 light. Come the first Saturday morning meeting after payday, we were told that commissions on such vehicles would be capped at $2,500, retro to last month, per a previously ignored provision in our pay plan. There was much grumbling, but management stood firm, citing how incredibly easy Raptor/Shelby deals were. They weren't wrong about that. There was no such thing as a test drive until the deal was done. You could absolutely drive the car before you bought it, but only after we had a signed buyer's order, credit app, and the deal had been submitted and approved. They were generally in and out in under 45 minutes, if not half an hour. But still, dealership gets free money and doesn't want to share? Cue malicious compliance. I talked to several other salespeople, who to a man were pissed, and we colluded. I whipped up a little Excel macro/widget that would take the invoice price/holdback, add in pack and whatnot, and spit out a sales price that would produce an exactly $2,500 commission. I sent it to every salesperson we had, and everyone used it. It only took 3 signed buyer's orders with seemingly arbitrary numbers for the desk to figure out what we were doing and to call another meeting. That meeting was basically management yelling at us, and the entire sales staff calmly saying, "Remove the cap, or you'll never see another signed buyer's order that exceeds it." Duck you. The cap was lifted 3 days later.
Now to the comments. I had a friend who worked in an office supply store that sold the full fit out for offices and schools, tables, chairs, whiteboards, etc. He was given a cap to his commission, so he used to just work up until he hit it and then stop. Now some work would naturally fall in his lap just from repeat customers and walk-ins, so he started saving up sales until the next month. By that I mean he would deliberately hold off on completing a customer's order until the next month so the commission wouldn't be wasted. Used to take him a bit over a fortnight to hit his cap. He could have easily made the company hundreds of thousands more in sales, but he didn't see the point. As he hit his cap each month, his matrix scores were always high, so he looked like a dream team player.
I've worked a couple sales jobs that had caps. I did the same thing. Once I hit my cap, I started to stall deals until the next pay period so they wouldn't be a waste. I have no idea why companies think having a sales cap is a good idea for their business.
I had the opposite in my sales job. Once you hit the month's quota, your commission doubled. If you hit double quota, it tripled. It reset at the end of each month. I'd make an absolute killing in some hot month, and never had an incentive to hold something for next month. I've never understood capping commissions like that. So dumb. I had a friend back in the day whose boss got pissed that the top salespeople were earning more than he did, so he capped commissions, so they left and started their own business.
Yup, I heard about a head electrician that pulled in next to the vice president of the company while driving the electrician, $140,000 sports car. The VP was upset and asked someone how can he afford a better car than me. Answer was, do you need to attend every concert/sporting event/trade show at overtime rates to make sure the lights stay on? How much would it cost to have to refund a 25,000 person crowd if someone wasn't there to reset a breaker?
Or the electrician is in massive debt. Learned a long time ago the type of car someone drives doesn't relate to how wealthy they are, but potentially how bad they are with money. When management does that, you tell them that you want it in writing that when the market cycles downward, and demand drops, they'll protect your pay on the downside. It's really the exact same logic. If management wants to pay sales reps less than they've earned when it's really easy to sell, then they should agree to pay them more than they've earned when the selling gets tough.
In fact, why not just give them a flat salary and zero commission? Look at the average commission you paid over the last, say, 5 years and tack that onto the base salary. Then you get decent pay regardless of whether cars are selling like hotcakes or you're sitting on inventory that doesn't want to move.
Look at the average commission you paid over the last, say, 5 years and tack that onto the base salary. Because this is absolutely not how they would calculate it, they would find some way of calculating it to make sure their total wage bill was lower. A few of the lower performers would get an uplift but the majority would get a cut. I think the shittiest part is the retroactive nature. You want to cap my commission, I'm not happy, but you change the rules after the fact, get ducked. You know who does that shit? Little kids who are sore losers.
Yep, I've had some retroactive shit pulled on me in the past and my response is always, you can do what you want next quarter but duck you if you think you change the agreement after the fact. They've always backed down, and unless it was Lord Vader himself, I'm gonna stick to my guns on this.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, Director Krennic. I used to work with a guy that turned down business because his assistants, the folks that did most of the work on any deal, wouldn't make anything extra. Bob was our best sales critter. What he could do in January took most people 6 months, and we had people who couldn't meet Bob's January numbers even given an entire year. It's not that the other salespeople were bad. Even the weakest one made at least $1 million a year for the company. Anyway, the company announces that they've got a new, better bonus structure. Associates and assistants would now make more money. They're gonna get an extra fractional percentage of any deal, but they would now be capped at $10,000 a quarter. Bob didn't like that. Bob got 0 deals signed that month. The new rules meant the deals he'd already had in the pipeline exceeded the amount needed to get his people paid, so why look for more? When the company reversed the cap, Bob suddenly had $30 million in deals, and his people made $40,000. So, I worked for a commission sales company when I was in college, basically business-to-business PC sales. I was young and stupid, so didn't realize how burned I was getting. I was told they had a commission cap per month. It was like max $4,000 commission, if I remember. Note, this was on top of my hourly pay of $9/HR. It was so stupid that I would purposefully try to spread deals out if I was going to go over cap to put the sale in the next month, and I would lie to customers that it was going to take an extra 5 days to process or something. I remember one month I had a great sale to a nursing school that agreed to buy tablets for all students, and I hit my commission cap and exceeded it on that sale. This was like a $100,000 revenue sale. I wasn't even halfway through the month. So, I put in the hours to get my hours, but I literally didn't sell another thing the rest of the month, didn't try to, didn't go out of my way. I even had my manager call me and ask me why my production was done, and I told him I just had some misses and some bad luck. I was lying. Why would I work just as hard and not get my commission? It's when I realized how stupid commission caps were and made me realize how idiotic the company I was working for was. Commission caps are some of the dumbest things in the world. R/workers strike back would salivate over this.
OP replied. Didn't even know that sub existed. Will share there as well, thank you.
And the entire sales staff calmly saying, remove the cap, or you'll never see another signed buyer's order that exceeds it. Duck you. Stop, stop. I can only get so erect. Very well done.
I really hope that the duck you part was actually said out loud.
They quietly, but very loudly, said it before the meeting, hence, the meeting.